Hello and welcome to yet another episode of What to Pick. In this video series I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And in today's first hand we have Point Luna against Terractor. And let's go with Point Luna for now, the corp is busted. Sadly no Earth tax here, so that's not so good for Point Luna. But mining operations and eccentric sponsor can be really good. Let's see what we have on our starting hand. Mars University is a really great card. Right, not too much here, sadly, but Business Network is a really strong card, especially for Point Luna. You draw a card immediately with this corp, and then you have continuous card draw to fish for more Earth tax. That's really strong. But other than that, there's not much on the starting hand, and that immediately tells me not to pick Terractor, because one of the strengths of Terractor is that it has 60 MC to start off with, and we just don't have any cards to play with that. So let's go with Point Luna. You draw one card with the tag on the corp itself, and then one card from Business Network. And you have some titanium prod, which is really nice. But there was no expensive card, I think, for eccentric sponsor. So I think I want to go with mining operations and huge asteroid. Self-sufficient settlement can be nice, but I think the hand doesn't look like going for a ground game. And this just gives us a bit more development and one heat prod, which is also quite nice. And the -5 can be devastating, especially for poor corps like Point Luna, but again, we don't have a lot of stuff to play on our starting hand, so I think it doesn't matter. We definitely pick up Mars U. I think I'd even pick up Colonizer Training Camp with the steel prod we have. We can grab 2 nice points, and we we'll grab another building tag. We play on the base game map, so there's builder in the game, and then this building tag is quite valuable. And in the same vein, I'll pick up medical lab and house printing. This is a science tag for Marzu, as well as a building tag, which is quite nice. And then I'd also pick up business network. And probably that's it. I think in the first gen I'd just play business network and house printing, get one more steel prod down for these building tags. And medical lab actually is quite nice. We have 4 building tags in these starting 10, and then we have another building tag on mining operations. So that's quite nice. Yeah. And then it doesn't really matter that you have -5 from huge asteroid, because you're just playing 2 cards in the opening gen. And you have steel to play house printing, so I think this is fine. It's not an amazing starting hand, but Point Luna can actually save this with its card draw. You draw 2 cards, one from the corp, one from business network, and then even a third with the action, potentially. And don't forget to pick up some cycle cards for Marzu. I'm not going to pick up any of those here, because we're not playing any of these science tags in the first gen, so we don't immediately need cycle cards. And maybe when we pick up some with business network or in the next draft. So that's basically it. Let's get to the second hand. All right, the second hand is Vitor against Ecoline, and these are 2 totally different corps. Vitor usually goes for a long game with some card draw and point cards, and Ecoline for a fast-paced ground game. I like Ecoline a lot, so let's pick that for now. A Great Aquifer is a pretty good prelude for Ecoline. We're playing here on Hellas. You could place the oceans up here, grab 4 plants with that. Together with the 3 plants on your corp, that's enough for conversion, which is insanely strong. You can convert that either next to the oceans for the ocean rebate, or down here to grab the South Pole if that's still open. Both really good plays. And then I think I'd go with Martian Industries. Power prod is quite nice for Ecoline, because you can maybe play some city cards with that. And the steel prod will also help, because all the on-Mars city cards are building tags. And a little boost to your starting capital is also right. Metal Rich Asteroid is also not too bad. Starting capital with Ecoline is quite nice. And same goes for loan, but I really don't like the -2 on loan. So let's look at the starting hand. Earthcat, that's insanely good. but nothing else for Ecoline really. I think the Soil Factory here is a bait. You don't want to play this in the early game with Ecoline, I think. This is hard. You could just grab Earthcat. Maybe Hired Raiders. This really doesn't look like an Ecoline game. It's really sad because these preludes are really quite good. Let's see what we would pick with Vitor. With Vitor, we'd probably go with still Great Aquifer, but we wouldn't place him over here. Probably pick up the 2 Titanium and the card. And maybe Metal Rich Asteroid. You could also go for Martian Industries if you want to. And then we have Earthcat for Vitor, we have Martian Survey and Research for Vitor. These are all point cards, so you get 3 cashback on every one of those. And you have the discount from Earthcat. Other than that, I'd maybe also pick up Hired Raiders. You could think about the combo of Ants and Extreme Cold Fungus. That's 1 point per turn, and if someone else plays a microbe card, it's even 1.5 points per turn. It's basically everything I would pick up. You could think about Bribed Committee for some development. But that's basically it, I think. Yeah. So either I'd go this way with Vitor, or if I really wanted to play Ecoline, which certainly has a strong opening, I'd go Great Aquifer, Martian Industries, try to pick up the bonus ocean down here. If not, we just pick up the rebates next to our oceans. Pick up Earthcat for sure, because that's the strongest card in the game. Pick up Hired Raiders. If you really want, you can do the Soil Factory play and get some more plant prod. But Research is always a great card. And even with Ecoline, you can think about Ants plus Extreme Cold Fungus. You can also think about Adapted Lichen, but that's just really, really bad value. And if you compare it to Soil Factory, in the early game you don't care about the point. If you're Ecoline especially, if you're Vitor, you get 3 money back, but you don't need the plant prod. And then both of these cards are really expensive for just 1 plant prod. So yeah. Tough opening based on the starting hand for Ecoline, but the preludes are really good, or just Great Aquifer is really good. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say about the starting hand. Let's get to the last hand for the day. Alright, the last hand for the day is a decision between Saturn Systems and Cheung Mars. Let's go with Cheung Mars for now. I think it's a bit more flexible than Saturn Systems. Allied Bank is one of the best preludes in the game. We're in Elysium here, so oceans are really weak if you're not looking for plants. If you're playing Great Aquifer, then you have the decision between 1 Titanium, 1 card, and 1 Steel. Just a bit underwhelming, so you can think about Smelting Plant here, I think. Just gives you a boost to your starting capital, which is nice. Also another building tag. But, well, on Elysium, we don't have Builder, so the building tag really doesn't matter that much. But the Steel is nice. Okay, there's a Jovian multiplier, there's Quantum Extractor. Really looks like... Oh my god, yeah, it really looks like a Saturn Systems game here. With 2 Jovian tags on the starting hand and some more space tags. I think this is Saturn Systems here. Allied Bank, let's stick with Smelting Plant for now, but maybe we will change that. Definitely Ganymede Colony, definitely Comet, because that we will play that not in the early game. We will wait with that in the for the mid game until after maybe Quantum Extractor to have a titanium target hit someone's plants. That's really nice. Birds is a great card. It's a 1-point animal. These are quite rare in the base game. Quantum Extractor, really, really strong. Optimal Arrow Breaking, really, really strong. Okay, Caretaker Contract isn't worth it. You can think about Artificial because it has a science tag. You need that for Quantum. Mohole Area normally is really good. Phobos is another titanium target, and Asteroid Mining is just bonkers. If someone plays Titanium Prod, you can immediately play it. And it's the Jovian tag. This is a really strong starting hand. So what do you want here? Definitely Allied Bank. There aren't really any building tags, right? Just Mohole. Maybe you still want to go with Smelting Plant. Great Aquafight just doesn't give much value here on the Elysium map. That's sad. And with that, we can at least play Mohole really cheaply and grab the Titanium or the card with it. You can also think about skipping Mohole and then just pick Great Aquifer. But I think I would just pick these 9 cards here. This is a really strong starting hand. And in the first gen, we got on to 15, but we get 3 cash, so we are at 18. And then we get 10 from Steel. That's 28. We can play Mohole. That's basically it then. If someone plays Titanium Prod with a prelude, or the first player here plays Titanium Prod with a card, then you skip Mohole for 1 gen and play Asteroid Mining immediately, I think. Just to get this insane development. And then basically you want to fish for science tags to get this quantum extractor down as soon as possible, because it will discount all your space tags. Then you will play optimal arrow braking and play some space events. And of course you will look for some Jovian tags, so card draw is always great with Saturn systems. I think this is a really strong starting hand, and for me it is clear that we have to pick Saturn systems here. Yeah. The only debate is, do you want to pick Great Aquifer or Smelting Plant? But I think Smelting Plant gives more value. We want to pick up a lot of cards and to get Mohole down. Or even if you don't pick Mohole, maybe you will get some other great steel tags, and then you want that steel to get them down. So yeah, I think this is a really strong starting hand, and you would have a great game with this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And also let me know in the comments if you had decided differently. And yeah, let's see you in the next one. Goodbye.